Hello everyone, this is Enzo Eigen, Alliance for Loki. So today I was just playing some Battlegrounds and I happened to match against Nick136, and interesting enough, I was on his stream yesterday just watching, and I remember him making a comment about playing someone with a huge roster, something like 20 rank 4s. Well, I have 20 rank 4s, actually I have 22, and so I was really just sort of curious about, well, I started thinking about, like, you know, of course, there's rosters, there's skill, there's strategy. I think those are the big three components in Battlegrounds. And so I wanted to think about, like, what effect does roster have? So I was watching Nick's stream, and he's incredibly skilled at the game. I watched him play. I mean, really good. I would say, you know, probably on the 1 to 5 skill, he's probably like a 4, like above average, like very skilled, very knowledgeable, understands the game, understands what champions do. I mean, anyone who has a rank 4, Joe Fixit and Spot, obviously knows how to play this game, because those are two pretty unique champions. And then I thought about roster, and so he has 3 rank 4s. No, sorry, 1, 2. He has 4 rank 4s compared to my 22. So obviously his roster is probably, I mean, again, like, trying to scale a little bit to players on the on more of the end game scale, players who complete most of the content. He's probably like a 1 or 2 on roster size, and I'm definitely a 5. My skill, I would say, to be honest, you know, if Nick's a 4, and I would say like 1 is, you know, a fairly decent player. Like, I would say sort of average. I mean, again, my roster, my scaling is skewed towards, like, you know, beating someone who played this game for a long time. I'm probably a 2. So he's definitely more skilled player than me, but I have a much bigger roster. And so I guess then strategy, it comes next, and we'll talk about that. So let's see how this looks at. So I ban his 2 sides only because in his stream he says everyone bans his Spot. So I was like, okay, I'm definitely banning his Spot. And we're both trying to get into Celestial. He's right around Celestial 6. I'm trying to get into it. I remember him saying on his stream how he always bans Caroline and Nico. To be honest, I don't think Caroline's so good. So the first thing when we're talking about the draft is he chooses the leader. So leader is, I feel like, one of these champions in this meta who is sort of like level independent. I mean, of course, yeah, level affects his health and his sustainability, but you know, the leader is just does so much regen reversal with his specters, and it doesn't matter if, I mean, I think it's the same percentage whether he's rank 1 or rank 4. That, yeah, he's a great champion for this meta regardless, and so that's his first pick. I will say, so if we talk about strategy, so leader's a great strategic pick. I will say that that he having to draft first gives me sort of the strategic edge. I get the last draft, and he has to place twice first in the matches. So my turn, I pick, you know, I decide to try to, you know, outpower him. So I pick, of course, 2 rank 4s who are both difficult defenders. One's good 2A champion. He picks Domino and Maestro, so he has a good defender. Both of his are rank 3. Again, I feel like I'm just trying to continue my just using a lot of power against, of course, like 4 of my 5 are rank 4s. So I pick both Jean and Nefaria. Again, both, I think, good 2A champions. You know, he's going to go double tech here, which, I mean, I watched him play Sentinel yesterday. He's a really good Sentinel, of course. Warlock is great for this meta. So here I had a difficult decision. I wasn't quite sure who to pick. You know, I was actually really looking for some help against Maestro, which I couldn't find. And so I picked Ebony Maw just because I wanted a strong defender. Always like putting pressure on people with picking strong defenders, just because then they have to get a counter, which sort of can disrupt their pattern. And so then there's Nick Fury too. Also, you know, I figured, again, just putting pressure on with a strong defender. I was a little curious who he's going to use against Yelena. Yeah, I was sure he's going to pick Spider-Woman. I was sure, but he didn't. He picked Kushala, I guess because he's so worried about Serpent, and he's right to be worried, because that would have been my next pick, and he didn't have any Mystic. And so yeah, a very, very interesting draft. I would say strategically, so again, if we go back to the idea of roster size, I mean, I've already talked about my roster, like 5 versus 2 or even 1. Now, my roster is much more powerful than him. Strategy, I would say we're sort of like did well in our strategy. I don't think any of us made any like glaring, like poor picks or inobvious picks. So overall, I think our strategic level was about the same. So first up, I don't think he actually gave me Sentinel. No, he gives me Warlock. Again, good because Warlock has a regen reversal. I wasn't sure. Actually, I really didn't want to fight Sentinel. No, sorry. I put Yelena down figuring he did not have a great counter. He's going in with Dazzler. I picked Count Nefaria. And so, I wasn't really sure. I didn't have a great counter for Warlock, so I went with Count just to see if I can get him down quickly. I mean, Count does have regen, but of course I get regen immune, and so here my goal is just to, like, well, obviously it looks like getting hit a lot is my goal, so I don't play very well at first. To be honest, I'm pretty nervous playing Nick. I mean, Nick is, incredible player. Obviously a streamer, content creator. So I'm definitely feeling a lot of pressure to like play well and not make a complete fool of myself, which I don't think I'm doing a very good job of disproving any of those right now with this first match. But anyway, and then just eat it heavy for no good reason. I get very paranoid about dashing back too much in this meta just because I don't want to give them a regen. And so I guess since I had my my Ionic charge on, I didn't really even have to worry about that and probably would have helped getting a regen. So I'd say strategically here, I'm not playing well. I'd say on a 1 to 5 scale, I'm probably like a 1. At some point, I'm like, I should use my SP2. That might help a lot. And so I think I start trying to build to an SP2. See if that's a true statement or not. Knock him down. Don't get rid of the protection. So again, strategically very bad. I knock him down here just because I need to get rid of the protection. And now I'm finally like, okay, let's get to an SP2. Of course, he's not throwing his special, which is annoying. There, he finally throws it. And now my goal is to get to a special 2. Probably should have had this goal 2 minutes ago at the start of the fight. But anyway, I get the regen. Don't really even capitalize on it. Throw my SP2. And like I should have known at the very beginning, it does a lot of damage and I win. So not very well played, I would say. And he beats me. And again, even though I had a good matchup, like Dazzler, she does all right against Yelena. I'm actually pretty impressed. But Yelena is a very powerful champion. And I feel like I could have done that fight better and put up a better score than 45,000 if I'd gotten to that SP2 more quickly and not sort of taken so many hits and done lots of dumb things. So anyway, so all this said is he wins the first round. And now my only goal really actually is to win one more match, to win the next match. I don't want to like totally get swept by Nick just because, again, I feel like I've always had this need to prove myself. I'm an okay player. So off to round 2 we go. And so round 2 is, so this is where it gets interesting because I'm trying to figure out who is the best defender to play. It's like I don't really want to play Ebony Maul because I feel like his leader would just crush that. And, I don't want to place... I sort of want to play Spider-Woman. She's so good and such a strong defender. But actually, I don't know if I really need her for offense. And so I placed Jean Grey knowing he's going to have to use Sentinel. I didn't want to face Sentinel. I struggle fighting him. And I know it's a good matchup, but in this meta, everything's difficult, and he is punching up. So I have my Sharthra versus Maestro, and I've been getting more and more comfortable playing Sharthra in this. As you can see, I immediately mess up, though. Again, like if you talk about playing, this is why I'm a 2 and why he is a 4. Just watch his stream and you understand why he's a 4. So I instantly get hit just because I wasn't sure if my parry was going to stick. And so I just threw my my heavy right into an unstunned Maestro and paid the price. So here I build up to another, I thought I was building up to a special, but I did build up to it, but went to bait out his special. And so now I'm going to launch my special 1. I have lots of wasps to play with, which is great because wasp give me energy to steal power. I just eat that. Okay, now I feel pretty in control here. I missed the dex. Again, my playing level is not very high, but I get off a big special 2. managed to intercept him as he charged me as I was getting my power up, and I intercept him again with my SP1 and finish this fight pretty quick, and surprisingly don't take too much damage. And so yeah, actually, whoops, that was too quick there. Let's go look at the results. No, sorry, I'm looking at the next fight. So even though he has a good matchup against Jean, she's still a difficult opponent, and so I was just hoping that we both basically had good matchups. But again, in each case, I had a power advantage. I had a rank 4 taking on a rank 3, and he has a rank 3 taking on a rank 4. So again, I'm still counting on that to help me win this fight. And so I did win it, just by 3,000. So again, close, but not great. So really interesting for this last round. So let me pause it here before you can see who chooses what. So in this last round, I forgot that he plays first. So I was trying to think who I was going to place. And I had come up with, so Nick Fury, good offense, good defense. He has a good counter domino, but again, like Nick is just difficult in this meta. Ebony Maw, I didn't think Ebony Maw would be any good because of leader. Probably should have never picked him in the first place since he had leader. And I have Spider-Woman, who's an amazing defender. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm really prepared to play Nick on offense against Domino, just because obviously she does really good against skill, and Ebony Maw just not very good offensively. He has Kushala and Leader, who are really both offensive, and only Domino. So I really didn't think about that. I thought he might put Kushala on defense. I didn't really want to face Domino, to be honest. And so, but I don't know if he had any other choice. But anyway, maybe it wasn't. It's more obvious now who he had to place on defense. Wasn't obvious when I thought about it. So he places Domino. Okay, I placed Nick Fury. Figured that was a good anti-leader, and then of course he has to use Kushala, and I go with Spider-Gwen just because again she's good on offense, and I actually know how to play her. I don't really know how to play Ebony Maw. My goal in this fight is just to get to SP2 and then try to spam SP1s and like very typical Spider-Woman style. And so she's tricky just because, of course, like it's not that easy to parry her. See, I get the parry there, and I probably should take it a farther step back, but I let her throw her SP1. And now, again, I've lost parries. I still haven't gotten up the protection off. I wasn't too worried about that, just because I really just wanted to get to my SP2. And so I noticed she didn't go lucky, so I figured I could push myself to the SP2. I should have thrown it a hit before, so she didn't proc lucky, but fine. And I just block it all. Again, I'm really paranoid about this meta, about going back, but I could have gone back and at least evaded the last hit. So, I can't say I played this super well. Again, even though she was lucky, I threw my SP1. Luckily, she didn't evade, and now just hoping that she will throw her special. Because I have power stings on, and she does. She takes a lot of power sting damage. I'm definitely taking some chip damage, and I throw my SP1. This time I actually do it before she gets the bar power, and then she kills herself, and amazing. And he's fighting against Nick Fury. Nick Fury is pretty difficult in this meta, just because it's true Kushala is good because she can get the unblockables, which is important against Nick Fury because he goes unblockable a lot, but so just too difficult matchup. And I win. He dies without doing too much damage, or maybe he got to the second life. And so, yeah, that was my battle against Nick this morning. And so, yeah, actually curious. I think Nick, he live stream often, so maybe I'll pop in on him and see what he thinks about his fights today. If he was just overpowered, or if he did bad strategy or played poorly. I wish he was streaming. I went to check to see, because it would have been fun, because I could have watched his fight. So anyway, this brings me up to Celestial. I would like to be the one season I actually finish in Celestial, but we will see if that's true or not. And so this goes back to the very beginning of what I was thinking about, like roster, playing, and strategy. Again, I have a huge advantage in roster. He definitely has an advantage on playing. Strategy, I would say, were we roughly equal there? Yeah, I would say pretty similar. I would like to think I had a pretty good strategy there, and yeah, watching Nick play, I know he's good at the strategy part. And so, yeah, it's very close. And so what does this bring me to, like, we talk a lot about like roster size. So basically in 2 of the fights, the second fight and the first fight, I mean, could have gone either way. I think if he had played better in this, maybe he could have won, or if I played a little worse. And same with the first fight. It was pretty close again. If I played a little better and he played a little worse, it could have been changed. And so pretty even. I think, maybe it was strategy that helped me, or maybe just roster size or draft. Of course, draft is sort of the unknown in all this. That he ended up with, really only defender he could play, and I had a really good defender left, and he did not have a great counter for it. And so, yeah, maybe strategy goes slightly to me in that case. Probably luck, maybe draft. So I guess my conclusion is that, you can compete. Like, obviously, I think if I was Nick136 and I had my roster, he would be probably competing for the top of the Battlegrounds. Like, he'd be trying to do top 8. And so yeah, I think of course roster size, well, playing ability doesn't overcome roster size. And same for me. I mean, even though I have a giant roster, like my plane has a sort of maximum level. Like, I'm never going to be like top 8. I mean, I'm hopeful. I finished Mysterium 1 like very frequently, last 2 times I think, but I've never finished in Celestial, for instance. And so yeah, I think my final conclusion is that, yeah, of course, you need a relatively good roster. I would say probably like 10 to 15 rank 4s. You need great playing and great strategy to be top 8. That's why Legacy is top 8, for instance, and Bureau Man and Andrew the Rough. I mean, they don't have giant rosters, but they're amazing player, amazing with a strategy. But I think it is important, like you take Nick136. I don't think he's free to play, but I think he barely spends. Maybe he is free to play. I mean, he still can be Celestial even with a fairly modest roster. And so yeah, I mean, I think playing ability can be very important, obviously, and allow you to compete against big rosters too. So yeah, it just was fun. Just was interesting, just because I saw him on stream and he was shocked by the roster he faced. I really want to know what he was thinking in the morning when he had to face me. We're both on the same time zone. He's in Greece, I'm in Switzerland, so we both were sneaking in a little morning Battlegrounds. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found the ideas intriguing, and yeah, let me know what you think. And anyway, I'll be live tonight. I might make another video or 2 today, so be on the lookout for those. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.